The back booth of the Blue Room was where Calloway Bay kept its quiet. Pauly Marchetti was already in it when I came through the curtain, the way the tide is already in when you wake by the water. He didn't wave me over. He didn't have to. A man who owes a debt with no number on it doesn't get waved at. He gets expected.
Sit. You're a hard man to do a kindness for. You know that. Always standing in doorways like the rents due. Sit down. I poured already. The good stuff, not the back bar. For you, I opened the good bottle.
You don't open the good bottle for company, Pauly. You open it for a man you want soft. I'll sit. I'll even drink. But we both know I didn't come down here for the whiskey.
See, this is what I like. No dancing. Friendship is a small thing, Flynn. It's not the big favors. It's the little ones. A man does a courtesy, the other man remembers it. That's all this is. I got a fella I'd like found. Nothing rough. Just found.
Found by who and what happens after the finding? Because in this town, those are two different questions, and you only ever pay me to answer one.
You're asking the second question. Don't, little fella. Nervous type, talks fast, can't sit still in a chair. Likes the all-night places down by the L. The ones with the bad coffee. 'Cause nobody looks for a man where the coffee's bad. You find him. That's the whole song. And Flynn, a debt with no number is still a debt. I never had to say that to you before. I'm saying it nice.
Nervous, talks fast, can't sit still, lives on bad coffee under the L. I'd been half aware of a man like that for a long time now, the way you're aware of a draft you can't find the window for. A small man who'd heard too much and was still breathing on borrowed time. I drank the good whiskey and it tasted like the bottom of the harbor, because Marchetti had just named the one man in Calloway Bay I'd been praying he'd never ask me to bring him. I came back to the office carrying something I didn't want to set down because setting it down meant looking at it. Dale was at her desk with the lamp low and the coffee gone cold. She took one look at my face and put her pencil down. She always could read me before I'd decided what I was.
You've got that look. The one you get when somebody handed you a job you can't hand back. Sit down before you fall down and tell me what he wanted. And don't say nothing. Nobody ever spends an evening with Pauly Marchetti and comes home with nothing.
A man. Small. Nervous type. The kind who hears too much in rooms he shouldn't be in. Pauly described him like he was reading off a card. Didn't give me a name. Didn't have to. He knew I'd land on it myself.
Small, jumpy, ears too big for his own good. That's half the dockside, but you already stopped listening at half. You went straight to one. So did I. There's only one man you trade favors with who fits a description that thin. And we both know which stool he warms.
It's not just Pauly looking. That new office downtown's running an audit, and it's been pulling on the same thread. Whoever this man overheard, the auditors want him too. Squeeze coming from both ends. He doesn't know it yet, but he's already in a room with no doors.
So if Pauly doesn't get him, the audit does. That's the math you've been sitting there doing, and it's why you look sick. You want me to tell you there's no version where you find him and it stays clean? There isn't. Finding him is handing him over, whoever's holding the bag at the end.
I keep telling myself I don't know where he is, that I'd have to dig.
That's the lie you'd like to keep. But I'm the one who tells you the truth nobody else will. You don't have to dig. You know where he drinks. Same place you found him the last 3 times. You've known since the car door shut. The digging was just something to do with your hands.
She was right. The way she's always right. Like a bill that comes due whether you open it or not. I knew the bar. I knew the stool. I could have walked there in the rain with my eyes shut, and that was the trap closing. Not that I couldn't find him, but that I already had weeks ago without trying. And now the finding sat in me like a name I'd been paid to forget. A man who owes Marchetti doesn't get to not know things. He just gets to decide how long he can stand the knowing. She was waiting in the doorway when I came up the stairs, the rain still on her shoulders like she'd worn it on purpose. Not the kind of woman who walks into trouble. The kind trouble walks into and never apologizes after. She had his eyes, the small man's. Same color, same fear, just better hidden.
I'm not here to take your time, mister. I know what your time costs. I just heard you're the kind of man who helps. That you found where he's staying. He doesn't have anybody else who'd come looking, so it had to be me.
I find a lot of things, lady. Doesn't mean I went looking for him. What is he to you?
Mine. That's all. He's a small man, and he heard one thing too many, and now he jumps at the L train like it's calling his name. I don't have money. I don't have anything you'd want. But I'd give you whatever's left of me if you just keep him out of it. Keep him safe.
I didn't say I could do that.
You didn't say you couldn't either. A man who couldn't would have said so by now. You're letting me stand here. That's enough. That's more than this city's given me all year.
I should have told her that the thing she was asking me to protect was already half spent. Already promised to a man with a Brooklyn voice and a debt with no number on it, that my silence wasn't mercy, it was arithmetic. But she read my quiet the way the desperate always do, like a yes. She went down the stairs lighter than she came up, the rain parting for her, sure as sunrise that I'd keep a promise I never made. And I stood there holding the only thing worse than a lie, the truth, with nowhere to put it. The back stairs of the precinct smell like wet wool and old coffee, and I climbed them the way a man climbs toward a door he already knows is locked. I'd run the angles all night, looking for one that ended somewhere other than a back booth at the Blue Room. Brogan was the last of them. After Brogan, there was only the phone. Patty, I need a road, protective custody, a charge, anything with a wall around it. There's a man Marchetti once moved, and I need him moved somewhere a badge stands between them.
A wall? You come up my stairs at 2 a.m. asking me for a wall. I got cells, son. I got paper. What I don't got is a charge that sticks to a man who hasn't done a thing but owe the wrong fella.
Then invent one. Hold him 72 hours, buy me a week. You've bent the book before, Patty, for worse reasons than keeping a man out of the harbor.
I've bent it. I never once made it hold a debt to Marchetti. You think a cell stops that? He waits. He's patient as a tide. The man does his 72 hours and walks out into the same rain. And now there's a record saying I knew. No, there's no law that stands between a man and what he owes Pauly. I'm done pretending there is. I'm going home, Flynn. I've been half out this door since last winter. Whatever you came up here to hand me, I can't carry it. Not this one.
He went down the stairs ahead of me and didn't look back, and the door at the bottom let in a little rain and then shut on it. I stood there a while in the wet wool dark and did the arithmetic one more time, and it came out the way it had come out all night. Every road was a wall except the one that wasn't a road at all, so I went down to the payphone in the corner, and I put my dime in the slot, and I reached for the number Marchetti gave me, because a debt with no number gets paid the night it's called. It took one phone call in the name of a street. I made the call. I never saw the rest of it, and that was the mercy in the thing. The only mercy there was. Somewhere across town, a small man stopped carrying what he'd heard, and the city closed over the spot the way the harbor closes over everything, without a ripple. By the time I walked into the Blue Room, there was just the quiet afterward, where a man used to be.
There he is. Sit down. Sit down. You want a drink? They'll bring you a drink. I've been meaning to say it to your face. Thank you. You did a thing for me. Quiet, no fuss, and that means something. A man keeps his word. That's the whole game right there.
I made a phone call. Don't dress it up. Whatever I owed you, it's square now. We're done.
See, that's where you got it backwards. And I like you, so I'm gonna straighten you out. The favor don't clear nothing. A marker, you pay a marker. It's paid, it's gone, who cares? This was never about one favor. This was you showing me you do it. That's the thing I keep. You understand? Now I know. Money I can get any place. A man who says yes the first time, who don't make me ask twice. That I can't buy. So we ain't square, friend. We're just starting to understand each other. Go home. Get some sleep. I'll be in touch.
I walked back out into the rain, and it didn't wash anything off. He hadn't called in a debt. He'd taken a reading, and the number on it was me. The small man was gone, and the marker was still on the books because the marker was never the point. The point was that I'd answered the first time without being made to. Somewhere in the dark, the phone was already deciding when to ring, and when it did, I knew I'd pick it up.